Welcome to Adventures Walking as One, where we will explore what it looks like to walk in the same direction on the same path as husband and wife.
We are Mark and Carol Schweiger from Walk as One Ministries, and we believe marriage is the best adventure and worth preparing for.
All right. So today's conversation,
Time management in marriage.
time management. I don't know if a lot of people are going to want to talk about time management.
Well, time is almost everything
Yes, and
in
it's
this
huge.
day and age.
Yes, and it's huge. Communicating about commitments.
Yeah.
For some reason, it was a hard word to say.
Schedules,
Schedules. And respecting our time together.
each other's time.
Each other's time. Yes.
Yeah, personally and together,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen on its own. You have to, like everything else, be intentional, right, with what you're going to do with your time. And it kind of this piggybacks off of the previous episode that, we're talking about value. What is your destination? What do you value? And time being one, right?
And it is huge because it creates stress.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do stuff. And like I said in the last one, I have to have all my stuff done.
Yeah.
And I have a plan for every day. And I get stressed out if I can't do that stuff. And so it's important for us to talk about what is important to us.
Right.
And where we need to make adjustments.
Yeah. I know you can get really discouraged easily if you don't achieve what you thought you were going to do.
Yes.
And for me, I'm a 3M company, with all the sticky notes. We should own stock in 3M.
Yeah.
But I've got notes and I keep track of what's on my notes and got to check it all off to make sure I've gotten it done. And I really don't like it when it's got to go to the next day. And then I feel like I'm behind.
Were you always like that?
I don't know.
Because it seems like I used to do that more than you. Maybe it was just at work.
I don't know. I mean, having a notepad on the side of my bed is pretty bad, but it helps me to sleep because if I wake up in the middle of the night and I got to do this, I can write it down. May not be able to read it in the morning, but at least it's written down, and then I can go back to sleep. It's off my mind.
I never wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, I got to do that. Okay.
So there's never enough time to do things, right?
Yes. Especially, we can talk about going through different phases in our life. And the first one, when you're first married for the first 2 years, it was great. I don't think we really had
our
time
first 2 years. We didn't have kids.
Yeah. No kids. We didn't have a house.
Yeah.
We both worked.
Right.
We knew we were going to be together when we got back home.
We'd be back home.
Back to the apartment.
Oh. Yeah.
So we go off to work.
Right. And then we came back. Except I was working weekends, every other weekend. That was hard.
Yes. So there was some, because we did have to plan what we were going to do for those weekends that you did have to work.
Right. And some holidays because I was in the medical field. So it was awkward that way.
But then
kids came.
Kids came. Oh, kids and house. I think kids and house were around the same time.
At the same time, right. Because I was very pregnant when we got our first house. And that was a huge adjustment time-wise. But then I stopped working or just contingent, So I was home, but we still had to manage this creature that came into our life.
The creatures, yes. So you start struggling with sleep. I remember distinctly was she would get up because I was going to work. I'd get up very early in the morning. Well, very early is 5 o'clock. I guess that's very
early. That was early.
But during the week, I didn't have to deal with the baby.
Right.
But during the weekend, I was told that I have to get up when
go
the baby
get her.
gets up. Go get her.
You go get her.
I don't want to get up.
Yeah. So we had to work on.
But we had to have that discussion. She had to let me know that, and I understood that I have to help, with that. Part of that responsibility for that kid is mine.
Yeah, but kids are a high consumption entity.
Yes.
Babies are very high consumption.
Yeah, you go from babies to toddlers. I had to know, so we had talked, I think, in one of our other podcasts that I would come home and she would give me some time. Well, that changed when we had, is it a toddler? What do you call them when they're clinging?
A waddler.
A waddler, yes. So I would come home and she had this kid attached to her leg.
Clung to my leg.
Yes, and she's like, "Get this thing off of me." Because it's been clinging all day. She's standing at the stove. The child is holding on. Mom, pick me up, pick me up.
Yeah, because they're crawling and they're climbing, but they're not free to walk yet.
So no more debriefing time. I walk in the door. I take the kid away.
They immobilize.
Yes. So I had to do that, but we had to have that discussion. So
Right.
that was another phase that we went through with kids.
And then they start to grow up. So they're kids. They're mobile. They're doing things. But then they start getting involved in things. So it might be, like we had soccer, we had ballet, we had, other commitments and travel. So that we had to juggle that. How do we do that? And we had one boy who was in soccer and track. And then we had 3 girls that were all in dance. And I literally would make a crock pot, right, of dinner. You go to the dance studio. We would be eating dinner at the dance studio. You and our son would come and we would have dinner together. That was important to us. But we also fed everybody in the studio.
Well, and it was same for soccer, right? I mean,
Right.
you took meals.
I did. Track.
I remember you talking about 8 sweaty boys coming home in the car.
Oh, the van would stink. And they would come with no food. I'm like, don't you parents think you're going to need to eat? So I would feed everybody. But you know what? That was okay. But that was part of time management too, because I had a plan for that.
You had a plan. I have to make sure you had time to plan for that. And then I had to show up because sometimes I had to pick up a kid. We had to know where the kids were. And that's pretty
Right.
common, I think.
A lot of coordinating.
Yeah, a lot of parents are aware of where their kids are.
Yeah. But it was a seasonal thing. But then they become teens.
Yes.
And they're more independent.
Yes.
And they want the car.
They want the car.
And they want to go.
They don't want to talk to you anymore, but you still need to be there.
You do. You need to be available. And a lot of times they don't want to talk until 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to sleep. But it's so important that you're just focused on that. Let them talk.
I think you were better at that than me. 11 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, one of us was up.
Well, we would be talking on the couch and fall asleep sitting up. So, yeah, not a good thing. But then, they become grown adults and they still need our time, right? They still need us around.
Babysitting.
Which, praise the Lord.
And we succeeded in our first goal. We raised godly
adults.
Yeah,
responsible
children,
adults.
Yeah, responsible adults. That's what I wanted to say.
And now we've got the grandkids.
Now we have grandkids, 11 of them.
11 of them. I
mentioned once that the 11 grandkids takes a whole lot of time.
A whole lot of time.
And before we were traveling for our own kids. Now we have soccer games and hockey games. The hockey games are like all over the place.
Yes.
And they're just starting.
Yeah.
So that'll be
and so we have to decide, are we going to all of them? Do we pick and choose which ones we're going to? And sometimes they're interfering with what we need to do. So that's kind of a clear delineation of, well, we can't go to that one, but we'll go when we can, right? Yeah, so time management with that is important.
And special events.
Yeah.
It's interesting when we get all the grandkids together and we do like an event like apple picking. It's like that you can see the people working there. They're like terror in their face. Oh no! All these kids.
Free for all.
yeah, they're all gonna get on that. The hay wagon ride?
Yeah.
We're all getting on the hay wagon.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
And apples are flinging all the way across the orchard. But anyway, It's fun. It is a lot of fun. Holidays are a trip. Yes. Holidays are a lot of fun, and other special events. But then sometimes families are out of state. And then you really have to plan. We had kids living in Texas, New Mexico. That took a lot of planning. We had to, California. So we had to make sure that we had that time allotted for, how long are we going to go even? And when do we go? What's the best within what we have to do, our responsibilities.
And that goes in vacations. You have to have an agreement on vacations. Are you taking vacations? How long you're going to go on vacation? Another aspect of time management is work. Some people have both couples working.
Yeah.
But the hard part, and I can only imagine how it is for 2 people, but you want to succeed. I was in the IT field, and there's constant training. We all know that tech changes constantly, so you had to keep changing. I think out of the guys that I started working with, I think they're all divorced.
Yeah.
It takes a huge amount of time. IT work, you travel. So you have to understand or discuss anyway how much training I was going to have, how much travel I was going to be doing.
Mm-hmm. And really, we made a decision on that that affected the whole family. Is that when we were living on the west side of town, and all our family was on the east side of town, and you were traveling every week for a week, and we had 3 little ones, and that made us decide, you know what, we need to move.
Well, the funny part was that the overall project manager called the house one day, except I didn't answer the phone, Carol did, and she had about had enough, and she's a lot different than me, so she told him, Mark does not need to be traveling this much. Of course, I don't remember what you said you told him.
I don't know, but I got the point across.
Yeah.
But anyway, that meant that we had to make a decision on what we needed to do to rectify that time commitment.
Yes,
right?
helping with the kids, and
Right.
I had to make choices for work. Maybe I don't spend that much time at work, or maybe I'm not going to advance that far.
Right.
Actually, I think I'd already determined that when I talked to executives, and the higher up you go, the more the company owns of you, and they feel they can keep you at work.
Yeah.
So it's something to consider.
So there were a lot of sacrifices made.
Yes.
And that affected time. Chores.
I mean, you just have to budget them in there. It's kind of like paying the house payment, right?
Yeah.
You got to have somebody's got to cut the grass, to do the laundry. You can help each other with those tasks. Sometimes you're very tired. I think in one of our other podcasts, they talk about helping in the kitchen, and it's really nice when I get kicked out.
But there's a give and take there, right? Extended family, that can take up a lot of time. There's gatherings, there's parties, there's whatever happening. Expectations from family.
Yes, expectation, and
can really shift your time. So you got to know how much you're going to apply to that, right? And it might rebound, because some people might be really put out that you're not going to something, or you're not going to stay as long as they want you to. But that's between you and your spouse. You've got to really decide, what is important here, and how much time can we afford to do.
And an important example, our going to the cottage example, where we were confronted. So for me, her mom and dad had a cottage, and so everybody liked to go to the cottage. But for me, I had a whole lot of things to do at home. So inevitably,
always,
everybody's in the car except for me, because I have to do something yet.
Yeah.
Dad, what are you doing? So one particular day, I think it was a quiet ride, because everybody was ticked off.
We were all upset.
Yeah, and then I was mad. It's like, listen, I need to get some of these things done. So we're not talking together too well at this point.
Yeah.
We show up at the cottage. First thing.
Where have you been?
Yeah, both
sisters.
sisters.
Both so long.
Both sisters, right? They met you right at the door.
Yeah, and I had to confront that, and I just say, we're here. We're not talking about this. We're here.
We're here, yes. But that was, we had to have that conversation, and we did talk about that quite a bit.
There's other external commitments, too, that take up time. If you're part of a church, maybe you volunteer, maybe you're part of another group externally from home, soup kitchens, or whatever it might be.
Helping people.
That you're helping people, or you're involved in some other groups. That takes up time. And there's meetings. Maybe you're part of something in the city that it takes up time, or you're teaching, or like we said, we've got sports events and things like that. You play hockey.
Yeah, and the decision I had to make this year is, do we play once a week or twice a week? You got expenses, and you have time commitments on that.
Right. There's house repairs. That takes up time. And maybe you can't always afford to have somebody else do it, but you have to do it. So
I'm a do-it-yourselfer anyway, so us do-it-yourselfers, we don't like anybody touching our stuff, right? So I gotta fix it. But that takes a lot of time.
Auto maintenance. Even washing the car. He doesn't believe in washing the car at a car wash. You do it by hand in the driveway.
Yes.
So I respect that, but that takes time, right?
And that's another discussion point. External commitments, I think, are huge because there's a lot of things you can do that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
But what are your goals? What are your values? And you need to talk about that. And it says, well, you're gone all the time to do these worthwhile things, but I'm home with the kids up and late. And therefore, you won't be able to have sex 3 times a week.
Elderly parents can be a factor, or maybe there's somebody in the family that has other extenuating circumstances health-wise, and that can be very time-consuming. You want to honor them, you want to help them, but that means something else has to happen.
And it's stressful, and we would both communicate what our plans are for doing that.
Right.
Because it is time-consuming. It's stressful for you because you have to go. You struggle with that. You may not want to go, but you know that you should go.
Yeah.
And so Carol would say, you're going to visit your dad tonight. Don't worry about the dishes. I'll take care of everything. Just go.
Yeah.
And so you have to have that communication.
Right. Managing time and things requires sometimes saying no.
Yes.
And you're setting limits, you're setting boundaries, and that is okay. What happens here is most important. So if your time is getting sucked up by other things and this connection is getting hindered, then we have a problem.
Yes.
So that has to be evaluated.
And Where's Your Destination is a very important podcast to look at because you're talking about this, talking together. Where are you going? What is your destination? And what are you doing?
Right.
And that's very important.
Yeah. So time's important to everyone. You never seem to have enough of it. It's either time or money, right?
Yes.
Never both at the same time. That's what my dad used to say. You either have time or you have money. You don't have both. One thing I do want to say is there's Ecclesiastes 3:1, and it says, "To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. For everything there is a season and a time for every activity under heaven." And I love that. It doesn't have to be all the time.
It doesn't have to be all the time.
It's seasonal.
So we would like to hear from you, the audience, on how you manage time. What are your time issues? And actually, how you manage to survive these different phases of life. And what have you done to manage?
Yeah, what tools do you use? We share a calendar, right? That's one thing that we do.
Right now we do.
It's really important to do. So
share
we
the calendar.
See what each other are thinking they're going to do for the day. And
walk through it once a week. So
right. Yeah, we have to talk about it too. So review a calendar of the events that you're doing together and what is important. Check out walkasone.net. There are tools there. Subscribe and share it to your friends, your family, maybe somebody who's having issues with time management.
So, thank you for joining us for this episode of Adventures Walking as One.
Yeah.
And we will see you on our next adventure.
Thank you for listening to a WBRW TV produced podcast in Washington Township, Michigan. Our podcast can be found on Spotify, and our video programming can be watched on WBRWTV.com or on our broadcast channels in Washington, Bruce, and Romeo on Comcast and AT&T. If you're interested in using our podcast space or have any ideas of your own for a podcast, reach out to us now at wbrwpodcast@gmail.com. For more information on our organization, our content, or how you can get involved, visit wbrwtv.com. The opinions, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect the views of the Charter Township of Washington, Michigan Community Media, or WBRW-TV.